Richard Lenihan, Roselle. I might be changing the topic here a little bit, but this is in regard to Ordinance 777, which is only being introduced tonight, which I'm glad is because they give a month at least to maybe give some more consideration to perhaps some not so salient points that come to light so far. But in looking at the ordinance, I see that there is 59 million aggregate principal amount of county guaranteed lease bonds. And I see that it came from issued by the Union County Improvement Authority. I'm wondering how that is split, because I did, and thanks to the fine work of the Union County Improvement Authority, I did receive some very helpful OPRAs, and see that there is actually two bonds that I became familiar with through the OPRAs, having to do with Roselle. I and my wife have a home in Roselle for 40 years. We have our daughters go to school in Roselle. They returned to actually teach in the schools in Roselle. So I understand that one of these bonds, 19.5 million, if I'm correct, is to do with the school, and 30 million is to do with community center library. See, the benefit of the library is, we saw here tonight, but this has to do with some capital improvements. As I mentioned before, I did submit in by way of email to all of you some questions that I had and do have regarding the project known as the Mind and Body Complex in Roselle. And of course, the first question, and perhaps you can answer it, but it should be something that should be looked at if you're going to be approving this bond, backing this bond, guaranteeing this bond with Union County money. And our question from a Roselle point of view is, what tax increase will this $50 million, or perhaps now $59 million bond, what kind of tax impact will that have on Roselle taxpayers? We see that in Roselle, and why I asked that question is Roselle has the sixth highest percentage of income from the household that goes to property taxes. 22% of our income goes to property taxes. And New Jersey has the highest effective tax rate, as we know. And Roselle is also already targeted if the fairness formula goes into effect. We see that the fairness formula as it applies in Union County is going to be very good for Broadway, Roselle Park, Kenilworth, Clinton. They're going to get taxes reduced according to the governor's projections by quite a bit, which average out in those 16 towns that have reductions, averages out to $31,688. That's a nice, that's a total reduction. Average savings for the 16 towns would be $1,980. On the other hand, the 4 towns that are not part of that, having the taxes go down, Roselle is estimated to have theirs go up $850, just from the point of view of the realignment of the fairness formula. Roselle is also according to the lease and the agreement that what is in the works already, I see is going to be paying, has the full faith and credit of the borough behind it. I would like to point out, though, that with the highest property taxes in the U.S., New Jersey is more than $7,000. Its highest, the second in place is Connecticut with $5,500, $200. We're being taxed And I don't think our household income, which in 2014 came down more than 11% from 2000.
Mr. Lenihan, I'm sorry, but my time is up.
There was just one quote, though, from our Senator Lesniak today.
I'm sorry. You have to sit down. Time is up. You have to enforce the rules. Thank you.
Arlene Murphy, I'm from Roselle, so,
You can talk into the mic so you see the truth.
Arlene Murphy from Roselle, and it's about the same issue. Plausible deniability is a handy escape hatch for the politically gifted, like an invisible cloak. Senator Ray Lesniak in the email. One of the things that we've been following the numbers. We love Roselle. We love the people of Roselle. We've been there, as he said, longer than some of the people on the council are alive. But we are going under. I'm not saying we need a school. We need a good bit of this. But we have to know how to measure it out. We live on a block that this Christmas time, a grandmother who was raising 2 little children had defaulted on her mortgage, and she had to leave 3 days before Christmas in the same neighborhood where Mom would, who the one on the freeholders board, he lived in that neighborhood. And what happened, this is about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, people had a garage sale on Saturday. On Sunday, they took the rest of everything in their whole house, put the key in the mailbox, and left. I have no idea where they went. But there are people in that neighborhood who know that that happened. And these people are afraid, but they're afraid to do what Rich and I are doing. They're afraid to challenge this with people who are spent much less time in Roselle yet. They were elected, and they are doing what they would like to do, including, never mind. But anyway, it is something that you have some reading. I realize that you have a lot of reading. People give you stuff. We didn't realize that. But you have to promise that you're going to study the situation and know that it can't be as it is. It has to be, but it can't be the way it is. Mathematically, it does not work. Humanly, family-wise, people who live there, we have abandoned houses. We not only have pre-foreclosures and foreclosures, we have abandoned houses. People just leave. And then they're sold, by the borough. And then they make these fancy houses and, thank you.
Thank you for your comment.